This video is going to be on the 30th anniversary of Haney's. I know you hear me in a lot of my videos. I talk about Haney's restaurant. I like coming here for breakfast. They got good food. And November is its 30th anniversary. It was built in 1958 as a Howard Johnson, and Tom is going to take us a tour on the place. And there's Tom's 2000 Eldorado. We'll do a separate video on that. It's a pretty nice car for a Michigan car, and being a 2000. Again, separate video on that.
Okay, 60 years ago this month, construction began for a new Howard Johnson's restaurant back in 1958. And we're still here after 60 years, celebrating 60 years as Howard Johnson's. And then in 1983 as Haney's Family Restaurant. The garden here is totally recycled. Almost everything was going to be thrown out or grown from seed. And we're going to walk around.
Now I'm just going to kind of point the camera in the direction you speak about.
Go around here. Back around this area over here, we have our elephant ears and voodoo lilies. These are bulbs that must be dug out in the winter, right before winter, and it won't be long
in this
now.
climate, yeah.
Yeah. These shrubs were planted in spring of 1959, and they were square when I came here. I've been here about 12 years, and my name is Tom, and I'm Tom the Gardener. I'm here every morning about 10 o'clock. I've been here about 12 years. This banana tree is 3 years old now. I saved it from Pleasant Ridge, from a woman's house that was going to let the frost hit it. And I dig it out, and I put it in the basement every year for the winter like a bulb, and just let it go dry. I cut the leaves off, and so now it's on its third year here. It doesn't produce bananas, but it puts a good jungle feel to the restaurant.
Can you put your foot or something next to that trunk to give people a dimension, you know, to give it some...
Here's how big it is. This is a...
I mean, that's almost as big around as a telephone
It's about
pole.
as big around as a telephone pole, and it gets heavier. Every year I take it down the basement, it's a little harder, but it's worthwhile. It's called a bloodleaf banana. It's purely ornamental. Okay, now we're at the entry of the restaurant, and I have Virginia creeper here, which is a vine that I dug out of the field. So it didn't cost me anything. And I wove it together, and I've created a window here and down here. Another window showing the banana tree. So it's just for the season, but it keeps people from crossing the lawn, and it's a nice little green belt. Over here on this side, this is a castor bean plant, this large red thing. The seeds are very toxic, so I generally don't give them out. But they can grow 10 or 12 foot tall. It's an annual.
Those are some nice looking seeds on there too.
We have a friend of the restaurant, Sharon Frost, that comes in, and she takes the leaves and she casts them into bird baths out of concrete, large leaves like this. Here we are on Van Dyke, just south of 10 Mile, and of course the traffic's kind of loud, but so far everything survived this year. We're late in the season. It's September 28th, and things are caving in, but it's still kind of got a little color to it.
What is this called again?
This is called a cypress vine, and it's also known as a cardinal creeper. This attracts hummingbirds. It gets little red star flowers. This is an annual where I gather seed from every year to save money. Now we'll walk around the front.
What is the address of this place? Do you know what the street number is?
The address is 24447 Van Dyke Avenue. And we're on the west side of Van Dyke, 4 blocks south of 10 Mile.
In the city of Centerline, right?
The city of Centerline, yeah.
See, these are how my Rosa Sharon are going to look.
That's right. All these tall plants are Rosa Sharon that look tree form like lollipops. They were all going to be thrown away from Sterling Heights, so I grabbed those a few years ago. The only thing I purchased this year were the yellow zinnias to go across the front. I bought three flats. I do all this on a budget of basically nothing, and it's always a trick to see what I come up with. go around here. Now I got caterpillars in here I grow dill because the caterpillars from swallowtail butterflies lay their eggs on them, and we have larvae in here, so it's a way to attract butterflies to the garden.
There's no caterpillars in there right now?
Yeah, I think there are right now, but I have to find out. This is called a porcelain berry ivy. The berries on this are supposed to replicate porcelain because they're iridescent and they have a different glow to them. This was a piece off a plant that made a baby, and I just saved it. But it's good to mute the signpost out. The Virginia creeper across the top has one trunk at the one end, and I keep it as a fringe effect just to break the lines of this building and give it more of a cottagey garden look. This side is more freeform and kind of whatever comes up. And many things are done now. The Black-Eyed Susie, they're all done. The Rose of Sharon are done. We peaked about 3 weeks ago. This restaurant is sitting on approximately 2 acres of property. We have ample parking. We have a full basement under this whole property, this building here. Great for storage. So it was built in the international style of mid-century modern, 1958, with the big eaves and lots of glass. It's not energy efficient, but it makes you feel like you're outside when you're in, which is a nice feeling.
Especially with the gardens.
It's a fig plant brought from Italy in 1965 from my neighbor who's passed on. And here it is, September in Michigan, and I'm getting figs, but not a lot. They turn kind of yellowish when they're ripe, not quite brown. And here's one over here that's almost just about ripe, when they pull off freely. But they're figs right from Italy, and the plant dies to the ground every year and then recoups. Where I took it from, it was 10 foot tall, but of course this year it's been moved, so it's having a little problem rooting.
And another castor bean.
Yep, another castor bean that's falling over.
I just kind of like this Rose of Sharon. You did it.
I need to cut it back. It's getting kind of light. This is a wisteria tree form, approximately 45 years old, that was going to be cut down at a neighbor's house. I moved it here about 4 years ago. And it's split, and it looks all gnarly and old, but it makes beautiful dark purple flowers, about 18 inches long every spring. But it's an oldie. Back in the property here, we're in the back lot, I have full sun. So I grow great parsley, cabbage, tomatoes are fizzling out right now, but I have about 20 tomato plants. We don't use it for the restaurant, but I can donate it to customers and friends and pass it along as any gardener should do. This is a new banana tree. The one out front that we filmed a minute ago was the same size as this 3 years ago. This was a gift, so I'll put it in the basement for the winter as well. But the leaves are quite beautiful, and it's just not as robust as the other one, but I'll use it here next year. I have tomatoes, I have mescaline, which is a green, and then I have all sorts of Thai basil, Swiss chard, and then more tomatoes. It's kind of gone its own way back here now. It's, like I said, it's late in the season.
Yeah,
I've got bushels and bushels of Swiss chard. We also have a hog roaster here. In the summer, about 4 or 5 times, once a month, we roast our own hog here on a Friday night. Our hours are from 7 o'clock to 2:30 every day but Friday, and Friday we're open till 8 o'clock for dinner. And very much of a family type restaurant. No advertisements, no coupons, just word of mouth. And that's how it's been for many, many decades.
This is looking out the window by the little bar area. Pretty darn nice. Nice view out the window. This floor pattern, isn't that cool? This place is just so cool. I love it.
Should you scan this?
Oh yeah, totally. That's what I like about when you're inside and you look out the windows at the beautiful gardens.
We're inside Haney's family restaurant now. Built as Howard Johnson's in September of 1958. And back in 1972, the Haney family bought it, Vernon Haney. And he had his sons working here. And Mr. Haney passed on in 1983. In 1985, the name changed to Haney's. Russel Haney is 61 years old now. He's been here since he's 14. He's the owner, him and his wife Beverly. And they live right here in Clinton Township, not too far away. But he's here every day, a hard-working man. I'll take you through here. This counter right here, at one time, served 36 different flavors of ice cream. This was the soda fountain corner that you'd find with the, you know, where they made all sorts of...
I remember coming here as a kid and getting treated, yeah.
Right, it's long gone, but the remnants are still here in the counter area.
In Romeo, the nearest place to like get tires or car service, my dad would come to Montgomery Ward at 12 Mile and DeQuinder to
You had to go all that way.
it was Montgomery Ward, I think, at Universal Mall. And we would always stop here and have an ice cream. I vividly remember
See, I
that.
never came here when we were young. Okay, as we walk through here to the dining room, I don't know if it's bright enough. Did that show up? These are tomatoes I grew out back. They're called Brandywine. They're an heirloom tomato from the 1890s, and I just use them here for bragging rights, just for the fun of it.
And it's sitting on
the red leaf cabbage that's grown out back. That's just for fun. As we go through here into the dining room, capacity is 110 people. The square footage is approximately 4,000 square foot for the building. And you just move around here. There's Carly working hard, one of our favorite waitresses, servers. We're going to get right in her way, get hit with the mop. Well, we're back in the corner of the dining room right now, and on a Sunday morning you can't hear yourself talk. This place is jam-packed with people. Standing room only, basically. But the business is good, it's local, and it's repeat business.
Can you get out of there?
No, get in here.
Yeah, you can come in.
And now we've got something that most restaurants, in fact probably none, do. We still have a phone booth from 1958.
Oh, let's check it out.
We'll head towards that. The phone was taken out years ago, but we still have our phone booth. We use it just as basically a closet. A lot of conversations that happen through here. It's being left for old time's sake, even though the restaurant's going through a facelift right now with new lighting, new flooring, and more updates to come. Typical 1958, the men's room is blue, and the ladies' room is
pink. Huh?
Definitely.
Wow.
Yep, it's a throwback to our childhood.
Look at that. Look at that pattern too. It's pink, darker pink and light pink with black grout. I like that. That looks good.
Well, it's here to stay. Now let's go on back. Russel Haney, he's the owner of the restaurant. He's been here since he's 14 in 1972. One of the hardest working people I've ever met. Serves a good meal. Everything's fresh. Come in and give it a try.
I don't think I've ever had a better breakfast than here. Of all the places I've ate.
Breakfast and open until Friday at 8 o'clock for dinner, and have hog roast during the summer. So this is the man that makes it all happen right here. We're all grateful for you.
Thank you,
Thank
Russ.
you. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Tom. Be careful back here. The floor is just a little bit damp.
Yeah, we're
okay?
being real careful. This is the original flooring.
This is all original to
All
1958.
original. Yeah, it's time worn. This was added back in 1985, and there's a work area here where food is passed through in the front. We usually have about 7 servers on a Sunday, and 1 hostess, and about 4 or 5 people back in the kitchen, and 2 dishwashers. As we enter through the kitchen area, full service kitchen, and in the back corner we go into a prep kitchen, which is a whole nother kitchen for preparation. All soups are made here fresh every day, and they rotate. It's never the same.
They have good muffins here too, so if you come for breakfast, definitely have the muffins.
Now we're at the back entry of the restaurant, which is employee entrance, and we have a full basement under this building with a 8-foot 6-inch ceiling and a 14-inch wood timber that goes through the center with metal supports. This place is built to last, and it always needs minor upkeep and cosmetic, but structurally this is a very, very unique building. And then we're at the end of our show here.
And then we're back outside.
This is my area here. I'm able to keep everything I really need in this little shed here. And thank God for this. We've got a shed and we've got storage for the lawnmower and a power sprayer and some of my tools here.
Alright, that was a little video on Haney's, place I like to go for breakfast, and I think they got really good food. Good service, good food, just a fun place to go to for breakfast. And got a garbage truck blocking the road, so maybe I'll just take another street, save some aggravation. And so anyway, yeah, if you want a nice place to go to breakfast, they're inexpensive too, on top of having good food. So they're worth a shot for breakfast. And I want to thank all my viewers for watching, and thank you for subscribing.